everybody, Sick this here again to talk to you about what I bought and what I watched today. And today, headed out to 2 stores and bought myself 5 titles, so let's take a look at what I got. The first store I stopped at today was at my local Hot Topic store in my local mall. Now, I'm not sure if all Hot Topic stores are doing this, but up front, there were a bunch of boxes full of all kinds of merchandise, marked between about 99 cents and up to like $5, I think. Everything from clothing, jewelry, makeup, all that stuff, and also some DVDs and some CDs as well. Now, all the music and all the DVDs, it was basically a bunch of stuff that I really had no interest in. Most of the DVDs were all music-related DVDs, bunch of bands that I didn't like. But there was one DVD that I definitely wanted to pick up, and that was The Secret Weapons of Kung Fu 2. This here is a Kung Fu Records music sampler. I love Kung Fu Records. I've been a big fan of that record label ever since I first started to get into music. I'm a big fan of punk and ska music, so this was definitely something I wanted to pick up. It was only 99 cents. That was a great deal. Features bands such as The Vandals, Goldfinger, Poison the Well, Atari, Tsunami Bomb, Alkaline Trio, and many, many more great punk bands. I also watched this one tonight, so we'll talk about it in a few minutes. And on my way home from the mall, decided to stop at my local Goodwill and pick myself up 4 VHS tapes, all for 10 cents a piece. The first one being Scream. This here is the exclusive Neve Campbell artwork. This now means I have all 3 of the exclusive artworks. I now have the entire collection. That is very cool. Been having a little bit of a hard time finding this one. I come across the Courtney Cox and the Drew Barrymore one all the time. But for some reason, Neve Campbell, I don't really come across that one too often. So to come across this today for only 10 cents, completing my collection, very cool, very happy to have it. The next title I picked up was Clash of the Bionoids, an anime movie that I really know nothing about. This was a complete blind buy. And as I said many, many times, I am a newbie when it comes to anime. Over the last few years, I've really started to get into it. If you can't tell from my shirt alone, I've really started to get into anime. But I am still very much a newbie at it. I really only know some of the bigger name titles when it comes to some of the more obscure stuff. I really don't know much about it. But I've been picking up all the anime that I come across for cheap. I pick it up, check it out, and I've loved everything I've seen pretty much thus far. So had to pick this one up for 10 cents. It gets really good reviews online, so I'm sure I'm going to love it. The next title I picked up was Ski Patrol. Definitely had to get this one. Have not seen this movie in years. I love great ski comedies, and I just love the fact that there's actually a genre of ski comedy. I love the fact that there are so many comedies based around skiing that it's its own genre now. I think that's great. So definitely wanted to get this. Definitely had to add it to the collection. Again, I love ski comedy, so this one I'm looking forward to watching again. And then I saved the best for last. Again, only 10 cents. This was a great deal, and that was The Best of the Wonder Years. Now, I much would have rather come across this on DVD because there is a very, very, very hard to get DVD copy of this. Unfortunately, it was only the VHS copy, but I got nothing wrong with VHS, obviously, so very happy to get this for only 10 cents. It's in mint condition, too. I put it in a case because of that. I mean, this thing doesn't look like it's ever been touched. I think it was opened once and then given rights to Goodwill. So very, very happy to get this. I'm a huge fan of the Wonder Years. And until we actually get some DVD seasons release, which who knows if we ever will. And I also hear that if we do get some seasons release, the music's going to be changed in it. So that is definitely a shame. So this had to get, again, for 10 cents. That was a steal. Very happy to have this in the collection. So that's it for what I bought today. So now it's what I watched. And today I actually checked out 2 titles. And the first one being, like I said, Secret Weapons of Kung Fu 2. Now this is just what it is. Not too much to say about this one. It's simply just a Kung Fu Records video sampler, although this actually doesn't feature a lot of music videos. It actually has a lot of live performances, which is okay by me. So if you're a fan of Kung Fu Records, you're a fan of punk rock, then you're going to want to check it out. I would say there is one downfall to this, and this is somewhat nitpicking. This actually features 3 live performances from the band Ozma, O-Z-M-A. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not a fan of this band. I've heard many of their music and other CD compilations I have. I think they're the worst band on Kung Fu Records, and yet there's 3 live performances from them on here. The only other band they feature more than once, they only feature them twice, is the Vandals. And the Vandals are a great band, I love them, but why they chose the worst bands on the record label to be featured 3 times, I don't get that. Makes no sense. There's many, many great bands on Kung Fu Records they could have showed more than once. So I would say that was a bit of a downfall, but who knows, maybe you like that band. So I would say if you like punk rock, if you like Kung Fu Records, then yes, definitely check this one out. It was a great watch. Again, I picked this up for 99 cents at my local Hot Topic. So if you come across it at your Hot Topic for 99 cents, definitely pick it up. Or if you just come across it for cheap some other time, it's definitely worth getting. Again, if you like punk rock, you like Kung Fu Records, you'll enjoy this one. And the second title I watched today was Killjoy 3. Definitely had to finally finish up the trilogy. A little bit of a recap in here. Killjoy was a pretty bad movie. It was just piss poor awful. However, it was actually so bad that it was very much enjoyable. It was extremely funny. I laughed all the way through the movie. I would say if you're just into watching really bad movies, you're going to enjoy it. It's definitely a movie that you want to sit around with your friends and check out. You will have a blast laughing at it. So, you know, it is somewhat enjoyable. Killjoy 2, not very good. A very weak title. Didn't really give anything. It wasn't so bad it was good or anything like that. It was just pretty much bad. Very mediocre. If you're into, you're into slash movies, you're into horror movies, it is maybe kind of worth checking out. I'd say if you're into full moon titles, then yeah, I guess check it out. But otherwise, nothing really you need to see. But now on to Killjoy 3. Definitely the best in the trilogy. I was surprised. Nothing great, nothing amazing, but actually a fun watch that I really enjoyed. This is definitely the best Killjoy. I believe it's been a different... I know the first Killjoy is definitely a different actor, and I think it's a different actor between all three movies. Definitely the best Killjoy. I loved his performance. I loved his line deliverance. He was actually somewhat funny in this, and as a killer clown, you would expect a little bit of humor to come out of him. I thought he was actually somewhat funny. He had some great lines. I liked the cast. I thought everybody did a great job in this one. There was in the very beginning, there's a cop who shows up at breaks up a party. He could not act, and there's a female clown in this one called Batty Boop. That actress cannot act either. So those two, they're not in it a lot. The cop shows up for like 2 minutes. He's gone. Batty Boop, she's main character, but doesn't show up too often. So they're very easily overlooked. They're the only real bad actors. Everybody else in this movie did a pretty good job. So I'd say as a horror movie, it was enjoyable. Again, nothing special, nothing over the top, nothing you need to see, but a decent movie. So all in all, I'd say getting this trilogy, it was $5 at Walmart. So I would definitely say if you're into horror movies, this is a set to pick up. Even though the second one isn't the best, it is okay to watch. You might get a kick out of if you like horror movies. Again, the first one was a hoot. Loved watching it. Very funny. And the third one, actually pretty good. It was a decent title. Definitely the best out of the three. So again, if you like horror movies, if you're a horror buff, for $5, this trilogy is definitely something you should have in your collection. So that's it for what I bought, what I watched today. Definitely excited about all the titles I picked up today, especially that Scream VHS tape. Now that I have all three of those exclusive packaging VHS tapes, that is very cool. Also watching that Kung Fu Records video, I enjoyed it. Again, it's nothing special, it's just a Kung Fu Records video sampler. You like punk rock? You like Kung Fu Records? Check it out. And also watching Killjoy 3, loved it, thought it was great, definitely the best out of the trilogy. There wasn't too much to say on it. It was just a movie about a killer clown and some kids being killed. But it really was enjoyable, and I would definitely say check it out if you're into horror movies. And I would definitely say for $5 at Walmart, definitely pick up the Killjoy trilogy. You'll love it. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned to see what I bought when I watch tomorrow. See ya. Although this doesn't actually feature a lot of